Larks return to Brent Goldfield for the second of a three-game series as they take on the Liberal BJs and search for a share of the RMBL title. Welcome into Liberal, Kansas, everybody, for the pregame show. My name is Hank Corsair, and looking back at the Larks game yesterday, they won by a final score of 18-7. It was a non-league game against the BJs, but it didn't matter. The Larks came up, and they showed up in a big way. They jumped out to a 5-0 lead through the first three innings. Liberal would score in the 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th, but the Larks really picked things up as the night went on. Starting in the 6th inning, they had 3 home runs, which all came from Tabor Stokes, Tanner Norman, and then Cooper Holtorf had a 3-run home run, and then an additional home run came in the 7th inning, and the Larks would sail to a run rule victory from there on out, but Liberal made a very strong push near the end of the game to almost force an 8th inning. They scored 4 runs and made the margin for the Larks 11, but Cade Green was able to strike out Trenton Ueda to get the 3rd out and give the Larks their 23rd win of the season. So now tonight's game will be an RMBL play, and it is a must-win game for the Larks. If they win one game in the remaining ones of this series, they will clinch a share of the RMBL title, and they can either win again tomorrow night, or they can win one of their 2 league games against the Boulder Collegians in Hayes. So it's going to be a very interesting matchup tonight. The Larks are returning a lot of their players that they had in their lineup last night, and Simon Lunsford will get the start on the mound when we come back to Brent Goldfield. The Larks got a big win last night against the BJs, and tonight they have to bring their A game. It is time for another edition of RMBL play. Larks come in with an RMBL record of 16-4. Liberal is 14-6, 2 games behind the Larks. Both of these games for Liberal are must win. The Larks just need to win one to clinch a share of the RMBL title. And then they need to win one of their 3 remaining games in RMBL play after tonight, or they'll need Liberal to lose one of their remaining games. The Larks are starting their ace pitcher tonight. That is number 25, Simon Lunsford. Liberal counters by doing the same thing. They are starting number 4, Jay Brooks Kappelman, a Liberal native, making his 8th start of the season. He started against the Larks on June 8th. Or correction, he started on July 8th, pitched for the first 6 innings, recorded 5 strikeouts, and only gave up 1 hit. The first batter he faces tonight is number 3, Rainer Bean. He went 3 for 5 yesterday as the leadoff batter. Kappelman is set to deliver. Here's the pitch. And that one's way outside for ball 1. First pitch of tonight's game comes at 7:06 p.m. 87 degrees at first pitch. It is sunny with a light breeze, and the skies are blue. Next pitch to Bean. Finds the strike zone, and it evens things up at 1-1. Here is the Larks' order after Rainer Bean. It is Cooper Holtorf, followed by Hutch Russell, Sean Keenan. Bran Wilson will bat 5th. 6th in the order is Tabor Stokes. Tanner Norman bats 7th. Ty Schmeidler moves up to number 8. And batting 9th is Cade Green. This one's line foul by Bean, and that's strike 2. Kappelman is a Pitt State commit, has had 3 games with 7 or more strikeouts. Also leads the BJs in that category. On the 1-2, he goes inside near the knees of Bean. Count is even once again with 2 balls and 2 strikes. Majority of the infield playing back except the third baseman, Bologna. And the curveball is sent over to the second baseman, Ueda. He scoops it up, gives it over to the first baseman, and there is out number 1. Now the Larks go to number 1, Cooper Holtorf in left field tonight. And we'll take a look at Liberal's defensive alignment, starting with their left fielder. It's number 1, Seth Green. The center fielder is number 12, Ben Finnegan. And number 19, Cal Anthony, is in right field. The catcher tonight is number 39, Adam Swanson. He's awaiting the pitch from Kappelman. High and inside, but that is called strike 1 by the home plate umpire. The first baseman's number 44, Noah Giovanelli. Next to him at second base is number 29, Trenton Ueda. Drew Gartman is the shortstop, and the third baseman is number 5, William Bologna. The 0-1 is a pop-up, and it sails into foul territory, landing next to the line. Giovanelli was going after it. Now Holtorf has to battle back with 2 strikes. The Larks scored 1 run on 1 hit yesterday in the first inning. Holtorf awaits the pitch. Kappelman goes outside that time, and it moves to 1-2. Holtorf was 2 for 4 last night. His first appearance, he got hit by the ball. He would follow that with a single and then a 3-run home run in the 6th, which was one of 4 home runs that the Larks had in that game. And he strikes out swinging on the 1-2 count. There is now 2 away. Coming up to bat now is number 15, Hutch Russell. Moving over to third base from second base in tonight's game.
Next up, number 15, third baseman.
Russell's the Larks leader in slugging percentage at .639. He's got a hit in 9 of his 10 games since joining the team late. 1 ball and no strikes from Kappelman with 2 away. Kappelman has an ERA of 2.31 entering this game. He's gone for 27 1/3 innings in his previous 7 starts. Now Russell works ahead against him 2-0. Liberals continuing to play their third baseman closer to the plate. And the curveball catches the inside corner. And the count is now tied up at 2-1. Russell watches another one go by. A little bit too low for the home plate umpire's liking. It's now 3-1. Russell's first at-bat yesterday was where he had that single. Trying to keep the inning going. Larks will go to Sean Keenan and then Brand Wilson after this. That one almost hit Russell, but he stayed in place and gets ball 4. So now Sean Keenan comes up to the plate. The only Lark who was perfect yesterday. He was 4 for 4. Hit a sacrifice fly in his first appearance, but would follow that with 2 singles and 2 doubles, which would overall give him 4 runs. Kappelman goes low, and this one's chopped foul by Keenan. Rolling slowly in the grass towards the Larks dugout. And Brand Wilson gives an underhand toss to the third base dugout. Oh, 0-1 is the count for the center fielder out of Louisville, Texas. Here's the pitch. And it's now 1-1. Keenan's gotten 9 hits in his last 3 games. On the 1-1, he takes a swing, pops this up into left field. Green and Gartman both go after it. Green's the one that calls for it, and that ends the inning without number 3 as he makes the catch. The Larks started the inning with 2 outs. Hutch Russell walks on a 3-1 count, and he is left stranded after the pop out. And now we'll see what Liberal can do as they face Simon Lunsford. Simon Lunsford takes the mound for the 8th time this season, and this is his 7th start. As he gets set to face the BJs, he will first face Ben Finnegan, then William Bologna, and Cole Manuel. Lunsford's first pitch is a fastball, and it misses down low, and it's 1-0. Larks had 4 batters at the plate in the top of the first inning. Started with 2 outs. Hutch Russell got walked, and then a fly out to left field ended the inning. Finnegan is one of 4 new faces in Liberals' lineup tonight. He's ahead with 2 balls. Lunsford kicks and deals. Misses inside. 4-3. Liberals' lineup after Finnegan will feature William Bologna, then Cole Manuel, who's tonight's DH. The 4th batter is Noah Giovanelli. Cal Anthony bats 5th. 6th in the order is Adam Swanson. Number 29, Trenton Ueda, is 7th. Here's the 3-0. And that misses, or no, it catches the high inside corner. And it's 3-1. The 8th batter tonight is Drew Gartman, and number 9 is Seth Green. Lunsford trying to battle back. He's only given up 15 walks in his 7 games. And there's number 16. It's a 3-1 count that Ben Finnegan reaches first on. So that brings up the 3rd baseman, William Bologna, who was 0 for 4 yesterday. And here's a look at the Larks' defensive alignment. Cooper Holtorf in left field, Sean Keenan is center field, and in right field is Ty Schmeidler. Brand Wilson is tonight's catcher. Tanner Norman returns to first base. Cade Green is over at second. Hutch Russell moves over to third base, and Tabor Stokes is back at shortstop. Lunsford's first pitch to Bologna is a fastball that gets right down the middle. That's strike 1. Yesterday was just the 4th game of the season that Bologna did not record a hit in. He's an all-state selection from Liberty, Missouri, specifically from Liberty North High School. He's down 0-2. Finnegan has a short lead over at first base. And Lunsford goes up high. 4-1. This is Lunsford's 2nd time facing off against Liberal. He goes to the fastball again, and the count evens up at 2-2. We actually had the same pitching matchup in game number 3 at Larks Park between Kappelman and Lunsford. Lunsford had a big game, recording a season-high 12 strikeouts and only giving up 1 hit. Here's the 2-2, and that's fouled out of play. Despite not getting a hit yesterday, Bologna's average is still sitting at 308. And Lunsford looks back at first, but time is called by the home plate umpire. Lunsford gives a nod. Here's the 2-2. And that takes a bounce on home plate and leads to a full count. Again, Lunsford adding the one from just a moment ago. He has 16 walks on the season, but 51 strikeouts, which is a team high. Here's the payoff pitch. And that's called ball 4. So Liberal gets their first 2 runners on off of 2 walks. They'll wait for Bologna to take off some of his batting equipment. He goes over to first base, and that brings up number 7, Cole Manuel, who is tonight's DH. Manuel's a junior from Arkansas State. Has scored in 16 games this season with Liberal.
Correction, my error. The designated hitter, number 7, Cole Manuel, now batting.
Giovanelli will bat after Manuel, and then Cal Anthony is in the hole. Lunsford goes high and inside on his fastball. 1 ball and no strike. We'll see if the runners decide to take off. The pitch goes to the plate, and it's now 2-0. Liberal comes into this game 64 for 72 on their steal attempts. And already Keith Harper is going to have a meeting with Simon Lunsford. Larks are still in search of the first out. Trying to make sure that Liberal doesn't take advantage of a lead early. But the Larks are familiar with playing from behind. They've started from behind in 14 games this season. They've won 12 of those. But they'll definitely want to keep that 0 on the scoreboard for as long as possible. Manuel steps back in, ahead with 2 balls in the count. Lunsford delivers the pitch and gets in the zone there for the first strike. And the count is all tied up. Manuel has the highest on-base percentage for Liberal. His is .521. And now he's going to work against 2 strikes, fouling that one back. Likely landing that one on the Seward County Community College tennis courts, which are right behind the grandstand here at Brent Gold Field. Cade Green, the second baseman, is playing closer to the bag. Pretty large gap between him and Norman. Lunsford steps off the mound once again. In search of out number 1 against the 3-hole batter. Here comes the 2-2. And that catches the inside corner for out number 1. Lunsford just dropped it in there and gets his 52nd strikeout of the season. And now he faces Noah Giovanelli.
Next up, number 44, first baseman, Noah.
So Giovanelli was 1 for 3 yesterday, playing as the first baseman for the second game in a row. And he actually played at first base in both of the league games at Larks Park. He was not in the lineup for the first game, but he did play first last night. He's ahead 1-0 against Lunsford. Lunsford took a couple looks back at second base. And he misses down low for ball 2. Giovanelli is trying to extend a 4-game hit streak in tonight's game. 3 balls and no strikes after that last pitch from Lunsford. Wilson puts his glove low, and on the 4th pitch, Lunsford finds the zone for strike 1. The runners take big leads once again, and Lunsford's able to fight back up to a full count. It's the second one that he's had this inning. The first one was against William Bologna, who walked and is currently over at first base. Here comes the payoff pitch. And this one is lined into the net. And a one-handed catch is made by Cal Anthony, who's on deck. The runners take off. And that's back-to-back foul balls from the first baseman, Noah Giovanelli. Liberal took the first lead in the first and third game at Larks Park. They won the first game, or lost the first game, but won the third. This will be pitch number 8 to the freshman out of Sonoma, California. And this one's chopped into foul territory. And he's staying alive. Three foul balls now after facing 2 strikes for Giovanelli. Lunsford trying to win the battle. He takes multiple looks back to second base. And now time is called by the home plate umpire. The pitch does not count. Lunsford had to take multiple looks back to second base with how big of a lead Finnegan was taking. Here is pitch number 9. And that's another walk. Liberal has the bases loaded with only 1 out. And it's their 5-hole hitter up to the plate now. It's number 19, Cal Anthony.
Next up, number 19, Cal Anthony, the right fielder.
He is Liberal's leader in OPS at 1.254. Recent graduate of Creighton Prep High School in Omaha, Nebraska. He is one of those 4 new faces in the lineup tonight. And he pops this one up. Lands in the grass area along the left field line. It's a pretty good number of fans sitting over in that area apart from the grandstand. Count now moves to 1-1. Finnegan is at third, Baloney's at second. Giovanelli is the runner over at first. And another one gets fouled off into the same spot. Anthony has to battle back down 1-2. Lunsford already has 1 strikeout. And here's the 1-2. It goes by the knees. The count is even once again. And the 2-2 is fouled off, and it almost lands over the net. It hit the backstop, ricocheted straight up, but it hit the very top. These are some long plate appearances / at-bats for Simon Lunsford already. The 3 batters, the 3 base runners that are currently on, their appearances, a combined 21 pitches were thrown. The strikeout was on a 2-2 count, so 5 were thrown there. This will be number 6 to Cal Anthony. Here comes the 2-2 from Lunsford. Another one gets fouled back into the net. And they'll call time. Keith Harper is going to go retrieve the foul ball. And a swing and a miss on the curveball. That is out number 2 and the second strikeout of the inning for Simon Lunsford. He's trying to keep the bases loaded, and now he's going to go to the 6-hole batter, Adam Swanson. Swanson, a new player in the lineup tonight as well. Had a walk-up song playing. It was Down Under by Men at Work. He's going to fall behind with one strike against Lunsford. All three base runners that are currently on walked. He's going to try to bring them home. Lunsford goes to his full windup. And this one is a line drive into right field, and it drops into fair territory all the way into the corner where the Larks bullpen is. Schmeidler will pick it up. Swanson goes to third base, and he clears the bases, bringing all three of the runners home. So he reintroduces himself to the lineup with a big hit right there with 2 outs. 3 RBIs for him, and Liberal keeps the inning alive as they go to their 7-hole batter, Trenton Uyeda.
Number 29, left fielder, Trenton Uyeda.
Uyeda falls behind with 1 strike on the first pitch. He came in at the very end of last night's game, which ended in the 7th inning. He started as a defensive substitution for the shortstop Jet Huffman, who became the pitcher near the end of the game. And then also was a pinch hitter for a different batter in the 7th inning, and Uyeda went 1 for 2. That one goes by his head, and that's the first ball. This one lands in the opposite batter's box that time for Lunsford. The count is evened up once again. Uyeda's ready for the next pitch. And he fights his way back up to a full count after falling behind 0-2. Wilson wants the pitch on the outside. That's where it goes, but it's a little bit too far, and that's another walk. Liberals almost gone through their entire lineup here in the first inning. It's the 8th batter up now, number 2, Drew Gartman. A freshman from Jonesboro, Arkansas. Had 2 at-bats yesterday and a total of 4 plate appearances. First pitch from Lunsford is hit deep into left field. Holtorf sprints back for it, and this one's going to drop down, roll towards the wall. That's going to score 1, maybe 2. The runner coming home is Uyeda, and that's the 2nd triple of the game for Liberal. Liberal has scored 5 runs off of only 2 hits. So they complete their lineup now by bringing up Seth Green.
Number 1, Seth Green, bottom batting in the 9th order.
He only had 1 hit yesterday. It was an RBI single. And this time he pops this one up into foul territory on the left side. Russell's trying to track it down, but he's not going to have any room for it. It lands in the grass area once again, and the kids are sprinting after it in that grass area. Oh and 1 is the count, and Green has to get out of the way on the second pitch for ball 1. The first batter, Ben Finnegan, is on deck. Now here's the 1-1. Another one sent out of play to make the count 1-2. Lunsford has 2 strikeouts already, and he gets a swing and a miss against Seth Green and retires the side. But Liberal strikes early. They score 5 runs off of only 2 hits. All those runs are scored from 2 RBI triples. And we'll see how the Larks respond. They have Brand Wilson, Tabor Stokes, and Tanner Norman up next when we come back. Liberal scores 5 runs off of only 2 hits in the bottom of the first inning. They jump out to the early lead of tonight's game. 5, 6, 7 batters are up for the Larks here in the top half of the second inning, and the count is 0-1. Next pitch to Brand Wilson is going to be popped up on the right side. Giovanelli trying to track it down, but it lands out of play. 2 strikes now in the count for Brand Wilson. Jay Brooks Kappelman, tonight's starter for Liberals, looking for another strikeout. He's already gotten 1. Other than that, the 2 other outs recorded in the first inning were balls that went in play. Here's the 0-2. That one misses upstairs, and that's ball 1. Wilson comes in on a 6-game hit streak. In the 13 games that he's appeared in, he's gotten a hit in all but 1 of them. On the next pitch, he'll send this one right back up the middle, and the diving play is successfully made by Ueda, and the throw to first was in time, but Giovanelli slid off the bag at the very end, trying to extend out to grab it. And the umpire at first base will call him safe. That will be listed by the press box as an infield single. The courtesy runner checking in tonight for Brand Wilson is number 4, Carson Lyles. Now Tabor Stokes is up to bat. He gets ahead with 1 ball. Stokes only had 1 hit yesterday, which was a 2-run home run in the 6th inning, one of 4 home runs the Larks had in the game. And every single one of those home runs, multiple runs were scored. There were 3 home runs that were 2-run homers, and then Cooper Holtorf had a 3-run homer in that 6th inning as well. Count moves to 2-0 now for Stokes. Stokes has recorded 23 hits this season and now has to face a tied count. The home plate umpire calls the next pitch from Jay Brooks Kappelman, strike 1. Kappelman is a Liberal native that played right here at Seward County Community College. Foul ball by Stokes makes the count 2-2. Kappelman started in 22 of his 25 games with the Saints in his career. Held a 6-6 record in 90 2/3 innings. Finished with 111 strikeouts and an ERA of 6.95. Here's the 2-2. And this one will hit Stokes on the shoulder. He is now the new runner over at first base. That advances Carson Lyles, the courtesy runner, to second.
First baseman, number 34, Tanner Norman.
This is the start to this inning that the Larks needed after giving up 5 runs in the first. Tanner Norman is the next batter up. He also had he was the second Larks player that had 4 hits yesterday. 3 singles and a home run. He watches the fastball go by for strike 1. Kappelman takes a look back at Lyles. Now focuses on Norman. Big swing and a miss. He falls behind 0-2. Norman's gotten on base in 42 of his first 100 plate appearances. This is his 101st right now. And on the 0-2, he'll leave it outside. 1 ball and 2 strikes now in the count. Ty Schmeidler and Cade Green are up next for the Larks. Schmeidler was the pitcher last night, and Cade Green was a courtesy runner that also pitched as well. Kappelman kicks and deals. Goes low that time. And it's an even count now to Tanner Norman. Catcher Swanson wants the pitch low, down the middle, and this is a foul tip into his glove, so that's out number 1. Second strikeout of the game for Jay Brooks Kappelman. Both of those are forwards facing K's. Next up is Ty Schmeidler. I just mentioned he was the starting pitcher for the Larks last night. Pitched the first 5 innings and only gave up 2 hits and 2 runs before he was subbed out. Schmeidler leaves the fastball on the outside for ball 1. Schmeidler's had 5 appearances in this season as a batter. One of those was as a pinch hitter on June 17th against the Game Day Angels. And he fouls this one back into the net for strike 1. Lyles is at second base. Tabor Stokes is at first. Lyles is the courtesy runner for Brand Wilson, who had the first hit of the game. Tabor Stokes was hit by a pitch on a 2-2 count. And now here's the 1-1. And it misses on the low inside corner. It's another tied count for the Pitt State commit, Jay Brooks Kappelman. Kappelman taking his time, gets his pitch from Swanson, and the home plate umpire calls time. He looks back at second base, now delivers the pitch, and that's a swing and a miss for out number 2. Or correction, that was strike 2. The scoreboard in left field said that was the 2-2 count. So now there's 2 strikes for Schmeidler. Kappelman goes to the curveball, and it was just a little bit too low. It is a full count for the Kentucky commit, Ty Schmeidler. First Lark to face a full count tonight. Kappelman delivers the payoff pitch, and that misses on the low inside corner for ball 4. And now Cade Green comes up to bat with the bases loaded. So Lyles is at third, Stokes goes to second. Schmeidler takes over first base. And a meeting will take place for the Liberal BJs. Their pitching coach, Gino Kazi, goes out there. And it was not a long meeting. He's already on his way back to the dugout. We'll see what Cade Green can do. He has 18 RBIs and a .279 average, which includes 17 hits as well as 2 home runs.
Next up, number 12, second baseman, Cade Green.
The Larks will be back to the top of their order after this at-bat. The first pitch to Green with 1 out is a swing and a miss for strike 1. There's a pretty large gap between the left fielder Seth Green and the center fielder Ben Finnegan. If Green can get it in that spot, he would just have to drop it over the head of the shortstop Gartman. Now here comes the 0-1. And the fastball just a little bit too low. And it's now 1 ball and 1 strike. All runners are taking leads. Green swings and misses again. And he's down to his last strike. The 1-2 goes right down the middle for Green, and that's another strikeout for Jay Brooks Kappelman, his third of the game. Now he's got an opportunity to keep the runner stranded, but he has to face the one-hole batter, Rainer Bean.
Back to the top of the order, number 3, designated hitter, Rainer Bean.
Bean grounded out in his first appearance. And on the first pitch of his second, he drills it foul and is going to have one strike to start. Bean's gotten at least one hit in 5 of his last 6 games. Here's the 0-1, and this one gets away from the catcher. Lyles will come home, and he is not going to be able to beat the throw. Kappelman got there very quickly. The ball did not roll very far from home plate, and Lyles is tagged out, and that ends the inning. So the Larks leave 2 runners stranded and trail 5-0 going into the bottom of the second inning. Liberal went through their entire lineup in the bottom of the first inning. Now in the bottom of the second, they return to the top with number 12, Ben Finnegan, to face number 25, Simon Lunsford. The count begins 0-1 against the center fielder. Finnegan walked on a 3-1 count in his first appearance. Liberal only had 2 hits with the 5 runs that they scored in that first inning. Now Lunsford getting off to a hot start in this inning. It's 0-2. Bologna is up next. Manuel, the DH, is in the hole. Lunsford kicks and deals, and that one drops low on the inside part of the plate. Count moves to 1-2. Finnegan, a freshman from Trabuco Canyon, California. Has to bow back down 1-2. He hits a deep ball into center field, but it goes right to Sean Keenan, and that's out number 1.
Next up, third baseman, number 5, William Bologna.
Keenan was just in the right place at the right time, and now that brings up number 5, William Bologna. He was one of those first 3 players that Simon Lunsford walked. His was on a full count and a 7-pitch plate appearance. Now he has to work with the bases empty and 1 out. Lunsford's first pitch to him is a curveball that finds the zone for strike 1. Bologna is a high school senior committed to play at Bradley next season in the Missouri Valley Conference. It's now 1 ball and 1 strike. Bologna was also an all-state selection at Liberty North High School, swinging and missing. It's now 1-2. He's also a former player for the Royal Scout team, which is made up of a lot of high-value recruits in the Kansas City area. Lunsford's pitch on the 1-2 is fouled out of play. So this is back-to-back batters facing a full count here to start the second inning. Lunsford already has 3 strikeouts, and this one's chopped over to the shortstop, Tabor Stokes. The throw to first is in time to Tanner Norman for the second out. The Larks have a chance for a 3-up, 3-down inning as they now face number 7 Cole Manuel, tonight's designated hitter. The junior from Arkansas State with the highest on-base percentage for Liberal at .521. He struck out looking on a 2-2 count in the first inning. Lunsford's first pitch to him gets in the zone, and it's 0-1. Wilson puts his glove low for the next pitch, and it lands in the dirt for ball 1. Noah Giovanelli's on deck. Cal Anthony's in the hole. The 1-1 from Lunsford drops outside. That'll be a tied count for the junior out of Clinton, Mississippi. Lunsford deals the 2-1, finds the zone up high, and he just needs one more strike to end the inning. This will be a big bounce back for the Larks right here. Facing 9 batters in the first inning, they have a chance for a 3-up, 3-down inning. They don't get it just yet. Wilson reaches out to get ball 3. It leads to a full count for Cole Manuel. The payoff pitch from Lunsford is called a little bit too low and inside. It's a 6-pitch walk for Cole Manuel. Noah Giovanelli's now up to bat. He was also walked in the first inning.
First baseman number 44, Noah Giovanelli.
Giovanelli so far this season, adding in tonight, he's gotten 13 runs. He was brought home on the 3 RBI triple from Adam Swanson when the bases were loaded. Lunsford gets ahead with 1 strike against the first baseman. Giovanelli is trying to extend a 4-game hit streak tonight. He's hit in all but 3 of his games this summer. Now the count moves to 1-1. Norman's covering first. Manuel's got a lead. And the count becomes uneven in favor of Giovanelli for ball 2. Wilson wants the pitch low. It's a fastball and gets in the zone again. 2 strikes in the count now. As Lunsford looks to strike out the freshman from Point Loma Nazarene. Here's the pitch. And that misses outside. It's another full count. This is the 4th full count of the night for Simon Lunsford. He's walked the previous 3 batters. And now on this payoff pitch, this is sent over to the Larks dugout fence. And Giovanelli now awaits pitch number 7. Lunsford has 3 strikeouts tonight. The BJs have 5 walks against him. He kicks and deals and misses up high. And that is another walk for Liberal. Cole Manuel moves to second base. And Cal Anthony is up to bat with Giovanelli now at first. Anthony was the second Liberal BJ to strike out against Simon Lunsford in the first inning. Lunsford took a look at both second and first. Now he focuses on the batter and works ahead with a strike. Anthony has scored in every game so far this season except his first. Looking for his first run tonight after striking out. Here's the 0-1, swing and a miss, and he's now behind with 2 strikes. Anthony's a Nebraska commit and 2-time All-State selection from Creighton Prep High School. Here's the 0-2 from Lunsford, and a swing and a miss for out number 3. Liberal started the inning with 2 outs. The next 2 batters walk, and Simon Lunsford strikes out Cal Anthony to retire the side as the Larks try to cut into this 5-run lead. Kabbelman returns for the top of the 3rd inning. Liberals ahead of the Larks 5-0. And Rainer Bean is up to bat. His 3rd appearance at the plate. We'll start with a fly ball that is caught by the second baseman Uyeda. And just like that, Liberal records out number 1 here in the top of the 3rd inning. That was Rainer Bean's 3rd plate appearance because in the 2nd inning he was faced with a 1-1 count. And the second pitch was a ball that got past the catcher. And Carson Lyles tried to advance home, but he was tagged by the pitcher, and that ended the inning. Now Cooper Holtorf works ahead with 1 ball. Larks have recorded 1 hit so far. That came from Brand Wilson, which was how Carson Lyles got over to 3rd base. He's the courtesy runner tonight for Wilson. Now Holtorf has 1 ball and 1 strike in the count. Hutch Russell's up next, and then Sean Keenan. Kappelman goes to his fastball, and that's fouled back into the net for strike 2. Holtorf was 2 for 4 yesterday. Had a base hit as well as 1 of the 4 home runs from the Larks. Overall yesterday, the Larks had 20 hits. 9 of those went for extra bases, and that one lands behind the foul line. Count remains 1-2 to the junior out of Peoria, Arizona. Kappelman has recorded 3 strikeouts so far and only given up the 1 hit. On the 1-2, he misses outside. Swanson had to fully extend his arm to avoid letting that ball get away. Now Swanson wants this one down the middle. Here's the 2-2. It takes a bounce on home plate, and it leads to a full count. This is the second Lark to face a full count tonight. The other one was Ty Schmeidler, who walked. And now the payoff pitch to Holtorf is a ground ball right past a diving Bologna. And Holtorf turns and looks at second base. He's got the Larks' second hit of the game, standing over at first base. So now Hutch Russell returns to the plate for the second time tonight. He had a walk in the first inning on a 3-1 count, but he would be left stranded over at first base. He's got the chance to advance Holtorf. Going to his fastball again. It's another strike there thrown by Jay Brooks Kappelman. The sophomore from right here at Seward County Community College. He's committed to play in the MIAA next season for Pitt State. He throws back to first base, and Holtorf slides back in time. Kappelman had a very successful career, high school career as well as a Liberal native. Won WAC Player of the Year not just in 2024 but in 2023 too. And he was a 2-time All-State selection by Keisha. 1 ball and 1 strike in the count now to Hutch Russell. Another throw goes back, and Holtorf is going to slide back in time. Yesterday, the Larks only had 1 steal attempt, and they were successful on it. We haven't seen them be as aggressive in these last few games. Russell goes to a fly ball, and it lands out of play. Count now is 1 ball and 2 strikes. Holtorf has another short lead. And the 1-2 is fouled off. Russell staying alive. In his first appearance, the count was 3-1 before he was walked. So it's different territory for him right here. For the 3rd time in this at-bat to Hutch Russell, the throw goes back to Cooper Holtorf. He is safe once again. The only Lark to record that steal yesterday was Sean Keenan, who is on deck. And Russell swings and misses, and he strikes out. There's now 2 away off of the 4th strikeout of the game for Jay Brooks Kappelman. And now out for the Larks is number 7, Sean Keenan. Keenan flew out to left field, and that ended the first inning.
Center fielder, Sean Keenan,
He leaves the first pitch high and outside, and it's 1-0. Keenan is now the new leader for the Larks in games played. This is his 25th of the season, surpassing Rainer Bean. Finding the zone, the count moves to 1-1. And along with his 4-for-4 performance yesterday, Keenan's been having a lot of big games lately. 9 hits, 6 RBIs, and 6 runs in the last 3. That includes the 2-game series against Fort Collins and then the game against Liberal last night. He grounds this one over to the shortstop, and the home plate umpire calls it a dead ball. Keenan moves over to first base. So now Brand Wilson is the new batter. And Cooper Holtorf now stands at second base. Wilson recorded the first hit of the game. And a good hit right here can get the Larks on the scoreboard. The catcher tried to frame that pitch. Home plate umpire doesn't give it to him. It's ball one. That single by Wilson in the second inning extends its hit streak now to 7 games. Here's the 1-0. And it misses inside. Wilson's now ahead with 2 balls. Kappelman has left 3 Larks stranded in the previous 2 innings combined. He now works to a 2-1 count against Brand Wilson, fouling that one back. And Tanner Norman goes over to give that to a Liberal player. Kappelman takes another look back at second base. Now here's the pitch. And this is a ground ball that goes into foul territory behind the first base bag. And Wilson's now down to 2 strikes. Kappelman has 1 strikeout this inning, 4 overall in these 3 innings that he's gone for. He looks back at second base again. Now the 2-2 bounces away, and the pass ball is going to advance both runners for the Larks, and now both of them are in scoring position. Holtorf is at third, and Sean Keenan is at second. That'll be a full count for Brand Wilson. And the payoff pitch is a fly ball into center field. Finnegan's running after it, and he's under it in time for out number 3. 2 runners are left stranded once again for the Larks, and they still trail by 5 against Liberal going into the bottom of the 3rd inning. We'll be back in a moment. Lunsford will return to face Adam Swanson, Trenton Uyeda, and Drew Gartman. Welcome back to Brent Goldfield in Liberal, Kansas for the bottom of the 3rd inning. Liberal leads Hayes 5-0. They scored all the runs in the 1st inning, trying to extend the lead in the first of 2 RMBL games in this series. Whoever wins the RMBL title automatically clinches a bid to the NBC World Series. And these are two teams that will more than likely both get a bid. There's still 8 spots up for grab. We'll take a look at who has qualified so far. It's the usual teams. Hutchinson, as the defending champs, has gotten in. A lot of West Coast teams, including the Alaska Gold Panthers, Seattle Cheney Studs, Santa Barbara Foresters, and Seattle Blackfins are all in it. And 2 other teams that are returning from last year, the Lone Star Baseball Club and one of the Larks opponents from earlier this season, the BTL Hornets, were able to qualify. The only new team so far in the field this year is from Goddard, Kansas, called Tess's Army. So now back to our action. 2-0 is the count to the leadoff batter this inning, Adam Swanson. He is in the 6-hole spot facing Simon Lunsford. And now he faces a 2-1 count on a called strike. Swanson had 1 of the 2 triples in the first inning. And now it's 3-1. His triple cleared the bases when they were loaded. Now here's the 3-1 from Lunsford that's fouled back into the net and leads to a full count. Lunsford has had to face a lot of full counts already. Every single one of them, he's walked a batter. Now he's looking for his 5th strikeout of the game. Here's the pitch. And this one's grounded over to Cade Green. And that is in time for out number 1. So now Liberal goes to their 7-hole batter, number 29, Trenton Uieda, a pinch hitter / defensive sub from last night's game. He went 1 for 2. So far tonight he has walked, and he scored the most recent run for the BJs. Lunsford goes inside and deals ball 1 to the second baseman. Next pitch misses up high. That was ball 2. Uieda's gotten a hit in 17 of his 20 games. He fouls that one back. Now faces a tied count. He even had an 11-game streak that went from June 14th to July 1st. And he's looking good so far with Liberal, coming off of a freshman season with Point Loma Nazarene, where he recorded 4 hits and 13 runs. Now the 2-1 from Lunsford is a swing and a miss, and that's strike 2. Lunsford's doing a good job now of finding the zone and getting ahead in the count early against the first couple of batters. That one's fouled back into the net. The count remains 2-2. He walked the first 2 batters in the first inning, and then in the last inning, both batters got out. That included a fly out from Finnegan to center field and then a ground out from Bologna over to the shortstop, Tabor Stokes. Lunsford kicks and deals. And the home plate umpire is going to call that one ball 3. That is back-to-back full counts to start the bottom of the 3rd inning. Here comes the payoff pitch. And that one bounces on home plate. And that's another walk for Liberal. Keith Harper will now come out for another meeting with Simon Lunsford. The Larks are currently warming up Justin Piñardo. There was a chance that Trent Baker was also going to make an appearance tonight, but it looks like Piñardo will come in next. But this was just a meeting, so Lunsford will stay in the game to get the final 2 outs. He will face the 8-9 batters, starting with number 2, Drew Gartman. And then after that, he will face Seth Green.
Shortstop, number 2, Drew Gartman, batting.
Gartman's 1 for 1 to start this game with the triple at the end of that first inning. His drove home 2 runs. He gets ahead with 1 ball against Lunsford. Gartman is a freshman at the Division I level from Arkansas State, was a redshirt this season. He now works to a 2-0 count. Was recruited as a top 5 shortstop out of the state of Arkansas, according to Perfect Game. Wins 2 state championships at Valley View High School in Jonesboro, Arkansas. Count moves to 2-1 now. And Gartman was also a 2024 preseason underclass All-American by Perfect Game. He chops this one over to Tanner Norman. Simon Lunsford goes over to first to cover the bag. And there is out number 2. Very close play for the Larks to get that second out. Ueda advances over to second base. And now up is the 9-hole batter, Seth Green.
Left fielder number 1, Seth Green.
Lunsford looks back at second base. Bunt is showed by Seth Green. Contact was made. So that is strike 1. So he's showing bunt to try to advance the runner over to third base, but a little bit surprised that they're doing it with 2 outs. Lunsford gives a nod to Brand Wilson. Delivers the pitch. And this one is sent right back to Lunsford. He catches it. Gives an underhand toss to Tanner Norman. A little bit high, but he still makes the catch anyway. And that retires the side. The Larks are able to hold Liberal scoreless once again. And now going into the top of the 4th, they will try to respond with Tabor Stokes, Tanner Norman, and Ty Schmeidler. Back here at Brent Goldfield in Liberal, Kansas for the top of the 4th inning. Larks trail 5-0, bringing up Tabor Stokes, Tanner Norman, and Ty Schmeidler, still facing the starter, Jay Brooks Kappelman. This is his 2nd start against the Larks. And Stokes pops up the first pitch, and this one will be caught in foul territory by Noah Giovanelli. That'll now take them to Tanner Norman. Looking at Kappelman's first game against the Larks on July 8th, he pitched for the first 6 innings before a change was made. 5 strikeouts, 1 hit, and no runs allowed.
Tanner Norman.
So far tonight, he has given up 2 hits and no runs. And Kappelman's strikeouts total currently sits at 4. Norman goes back up the middle. Fielding it with his backhand is Ueda. And on the run, he throws it to Giovanelli. And that's 2 outs on the first pitch for both batters. Now Ty Schmeidler will come up to bat for a second time tonight. He walked on a full count in the 2nd inning.
Number 16, right fielder, Ty Schmeidler.
Pitch goes right down the middle, and that's strike 1 from Kappelman. Tonight is Schmeidler's 5th game in the starting lineup as a batter. He's down 0-2. He pitched last night for the first 5 innings. This is his 6th game overall as a batter as well. His first appearance was as a pinch hitter against the Game Day Angels on June 17th. And he fouls off the 3rd pitch, staying alive with no balls and 2 strikes. Larks trying to avoid a 3-up, 3-down inning here against Kappelman. He comes set, deals the 0-2, and that's a swing and a miss for out number 3. Only 6 pitches were thrown that inning for Kappelman to get the 3 outs. And now we'll see how the Larks respond in the bottom of the 4th when we come back. The Larks change pitchers after 3 innings, and now taking over the duties on the mound is number 22, Justin Pignardo. After 3 innings from Simon Lunsford, only gives up 2 hits and records 4 strikeouts, but Liberal was able to get 5 runs and 7 walks. It's the top of the order with number 12, Ben Finnegan, to face Pignardo. First pitch is a fastball, sent into the right center gap, and it's going to drop down. Takes 2 bounces and then is scooped up by Sean Keenan. He makes a long throw right next to Tabor Stokes. But Finnegan gets there in plenty of time and gets the first hit of the inning as the leadoff batter.
Third baseman, number 5, William Bologna.
Next up is number 5, William Bologna, the Liberty, Missouri native. 0 for 1 tonight with a ground out, and he is also walked. This is Pignardo's 10th game with the Larks. He's pitched in 15 1/3 innings. Has a 1-0 record. And time is called by the home plate umpire before the next pitch. This is the second time Bologna has had Finnegan on tonight. Finnegan was also walked in the first inning. And the pitch takes a bounce, rolls to the backstop, and Finnegan advances on the pass ball. The count is 1-0 with Cole Manuel on deck and Noah Giovanelli in the hole. Pignardo delivers the pitch, goes to the outside part of the plate, and it's now 2-0. Finnegan's trying to score his second run of the night over at third. There is strike 1 from Pignardo to Bologna. Pinardo has 18 strikeouts. His opponent batting average is 196. And now he delivers ball 3. Wilson wants the pitch right down the middle. It goes to the plate. And this one is hit over to Tabor Stokes. And it rolls into left field, and Liberals on the scoreboard once again. They extend their lead to 6-0 with an RBI single from the third baseman, William Bologna.
Number 7, designated hitter.
The next batter is number 7, Cole Manuel, tonight's DH. Struck out in his first appearance, walked in his second. Manuel primarily plays at catcher for the BJs, but has also made many appearances as a DH, and he's now down 1-0. Or ahead 1-0, excuse me. Watch the next pitch go by now, and it's 2-0. Manuel's gotten a .392 average in his first 22 games. Team best .521 on base percentage. Pitch is popped up, and it's going to land out of play. 2 balls and 1 strike from Pinardo to Manuel. Bologna's got a short lead over at first base, playing very close to the bag, but Norman will still cover. The 2-1 is a foul tip for strike 2. Pinardo has 18 strikeouts coming into the game, looking to add another here against Cole Manuel, who was already struck out tonight. He looked at a strike 3 on a 2-2 count in the first inning against Lunsford. And now on this pitch, it's a line drive, and this one is another base hit. Both runners advance to their next station. And the Larks are going to have another mound meeting. Keith Harper took a look out over in right field. The Larks have a few pitchers over there right now. You can see number 31, Hank Brown, is there. There's some other ones as well. But Trent Baker's in the dugout. He's going to be the one that comes out. So he will replace Justin Pinardo. And we will be back in just a moment. Larks sub Justin Pignardo out after only 11 pitches were thrown, and they replace him with number 2 Trent Baker. He was a batter last night with 3 hits, including a home run. Trent Baker overall last night had 2 RBIs and 4 runs. Now he makes his 8th appearance this season as a pitcher, which is also his 30th of his Larks career. He deals a ball to Noah Giovanelli. With the runners at first and second, William Bologna is at second base, Cole Manuel's at first. Liberal has scored 1 run from Ben Finnegan. He got on a double on the very first pitch of the 4th inning, and Bologna's hit was the one that drove him home. Swinging and missing, the count now goes to 1-1. Wilson centers the glove, and a pop-up going into foul territory, lands out of play. Lands in that grass area once again where a lot of fans bring lawn chairs and picnic blankets to set out there. And it doesn't look like they have to return the balls, so most people over there are getting a lot of free souvenirs from the BJs. Here's the 1-2 from Baker. It is a hard ground ball fielded by Cade Green. Gets Tabor Stokes over at second base, and the throw to first is not in time. So Giovanelli is safe on the fielder's choice. Now Bologna moves over to third base, and it brings up Cal Anthony. Larks need to fight hard right here to limit the damage. Try to hold Liberal to just 1 run in this 4th inning. They will face number 19, Cal Anthony, the future Nebraska Cornhusker. Baker gives a nod to Wilson, delivers the pitch to the outside. It is 1-0 to start. Anthony struck out twice against Simon Lunsford in the first 2 innings. Both of those he was caught swinging. Now here's the 1-0. In that same spot again for ball 2. Anthony, a 2-time preseason All-State selection by Prep Baseball Report in Nebraska. Has gotten 7 extra base hits off of his 16 overall this season. Count moves to 2-1. Adam Swanson will be up to bat after him. Baker kicks and deals, and it's another swing and a miss for strike 2. Baker comes in with 29 strikeouts on the season, 81 in his 4-year Larks career. He comes set, and the 2-2 is fouled back into the net. Anthony will stay alive for 1 more pitch. His most recent strikeout, only 3 strikes were thrown. 7 pitches were thrown on the first one. Here's number 6 from Baker, and it's shot foul. Anthony steps back into the batter's box. He has 16 hits on the season. He's also the OPS leader for the BJs. And he fouls off another one. That's 3 fouls now since being dealt with 2 strikes. Baker doing a good job trying to win the battle as he delivers another pitch. And there's another foul ball. This will be pitch number 9 from the Oklahoma City star to the future Cornhusker. Baker looking to get out number 2 and get his first strikeout of the game. And this one is hit high in the air deep into right field. Schmeidler's sprinting after it. He's going to slow down, and that'll be a 3-run home run for Cal Anthony. That's his 4th rather of the season. Liberal has their biggest lead of the night, continuing to extend it. Now Baker faces Adam Swanson.
Number 39, catcher, Adam Swanson.
The first pitch to Swanson is called strike one. Liberal has scored their runs in bunches tonight. 5 in the first, now 4 in the fourth. Next pitch goes outside, making the count 1-1. The glove gets centered by Brand Wilson. The pitch goes low. And Baker might have landed a little bit funny when he brought his leg forward for the pitch. He had to step off to the side for a second and kind of hopped a little. He's now behind 3-1 against Swanson. Swanson's 1 for 2. 3 RBI triple as well as a ground out to Cade Green. He will walk on this one. He goes to first with 1 out. And now up to bat is the 7th batter in Liberal's order and also of this inning. It is Trenton Uyeda. Swanson will get subbed out for number 3. That is Jet Huffman that will take over the duties as the courtesy runner.
Jet Huffman on first as a courtesy runner for the catcher, Adam Swanson.
Baker delivers to Uyeda and delivers strike one. Uyeda in search of his first hit. He is walked twice. And now this one takes a bounce, rolls away, and the runner takes off for second base. And Huffman is safe. Drew Gartman is on deck. Seth Green is in the hole. Baker takes a look back at second. Now he focuses on the batter and delivers the ball to the outside. 2-1 is the count. Tonight is a must-win game for Liberal, and they are playing like it so far, getting out to the 9-run lead. Another line drive. Schmeither runs up on it, makes a diving play, but is unable to make the catch. This one rolls back to the wall. Uyeda makes his way to second base. Huffman jogs into home plate, and they're going to stop him at third. That is the 3rd triple of the game for the BJs. First hit of the game for Uyeda, and Liberal's lead is 10. That'll bring up the 8-hole batter, Drew Gartman.
Shortstop, number 2.
And the Larks are going to warm up another pitcher. They're sending Carson Lyles now over to right field to warm up. Baker deals the ball to Drew Gartman. And Lyles pitched 1 inning last night, but if he comes in tonight, it wouldn't be the first time that we've seen him pitch in back-to-back games. He did that in Colorado on July 1st against Fort Collins, and then the next night against Game Day. So this isn't a first for him, but we will see who the Larks decide to sub in. They're sending Ramos out there as well. And now here's the 1-1. It's a swing and a miss. Gartman falls behind with 2 strikes. Baker looking for the strikeout. The only out they've recorded so far was against Cole Manuel. He had a single on a 2-2 count. Got out on a fielder's choice that almost resulted in a double play. Baker goes to the fastball that time. Evens things up with two balls and 2 strikes. Another fastball. And it goes outside. A full count with 1 out and a runner over at third. Baker Baker delivers the payoff pitch, and he finds the low part of the strike zone for out number 2. Baker able to play with discipline and win the battle. He just needs one more out to retire the side. And Liberal, for the second time tonight, goes through their order. Seth Green is up to bat. Liberal has yet, though, to have a batter bat twice in the same inning. Green's first pitch is called strike 1. In the first inning, they had 9 batters up. Green struck out on a 1-2 count. And now he's down 0-2 on a foul tip. Baker looking for back-to-back Ks. This will be sent over to Cade Green. And the throw to Tanner Norman is in time, and the inning is over. But 5 more runs are added by Liberal. Started with 3 straight hits from Finnegan, Bologna, and Manuel. And then the next 3 batters would score as well. And that also includes a 3-run home run from Cal Anthony. So the Larks trail by 10 going into the top of the 5th. We'll be back in just a moment. The Larks will have their 9-1-2 batters up for the top of the 5th inning, trailing 10-0. Green is up to bat, shows bunt, and he will start with an 0-1 count. In that last inning for Liberal, they scored 5 runs off of 5 hits, and also had their first home run of the night. It was a 3-run home run from Cal Anthony. And Cade Green fouls off that one on the 0-1 count for strike 2. Jay Brooks Kappelman is still on the mound. He's only given up 2 hits so far, and he has a total of 5 strikeouts already. Here's the pitch, and that one misses upstairs. Count moves to 1-2 for the Colorado Mesa Maverick, Cade Green. He's the 9-hole batter, so Rainer Bean is up next, followed by Cooper Holtorf and Hutch Russell. Kappelman delivers, and this one is a high fly ball into center field. Finnegan waits for it to come down, and he makes the catch for the first out of the 5th inning. So now Rainer Bean comes up to bat again. He's had 4 plate appearances, or this is his 4th plate appearance right here.
Number 3, designated.
He's only had 2 at-bats. 2 balls went in play, and then in the 2nd inning, he was batting, and a Lark was caught stealing. He starts ahead with 1 ball in the count. Here's Kappelman's next pitch, and that catches the inside corner for strike 1. Liberals now starting to warm up some new pitchers. When Kappelman played his first game against the Larks, he went for 6 innings. So I would expect him to pitch 1 more before they make another change. Count now moves to 2-1. Apologize to the fans. I was grabbing my binoculars and bumped the camera. I'll put that back where it was. Here's the pitch to untie the count. That finds the zone as well for strike 2. Beans already faced a 2-2 count tonight in the first inning. Kappelman goes to the fastball again, but misses up high. And Bean will face a full count. Kappelman is 1 for 2 on full counts tonight. Payoff pitch is on its way, and it's high and outside. He now goes to 1 for 3, giving up a walk against Rainer Bean. That'll bring up number 1, Cooper Holtorf. He's 1 for 2 to start this game with a single and a strikeout. And he starts with a strike with the runner over at first base. It's a little bit tough to tell who's in left field, but it looks like Liberal is warming up another right-handed arm. It is number 9, Braxton Trankel, a freshman from Northeastern Junior College. Oh, and 1 is the count. They just threw the pitch back to Rainer Bean a moment ago. And now Holtorf hits a fly ball into right field. Anthony's there, and he records out number 2. That's 2 flyouts for the Larks here in the top of the 5th inning. They're trying to advance Rainer Bean and get that first run on the board. Hutch Russell is now up to bat. So far tonight, the Larks have gotten a runner to third twice. Carson Lyles advanced to third after a single from Brand Wilson. He was subbed in as the courtesy runner, made it to third. Tried to score at home on a pass ball, but was tagged out. And then Holtorf was left stranded at third in the 3rd inning. Now Russell hits a line drive into the net. No balls and 1 strike to the KU commit. Bean has a lead over at first base. Pitch goes inside, and it's 1-1. Larks need to score in this inning if they have any chance of completing a comeback. Liberal will be back to the top of their order in the bottom half of this inning, and it's now 2-1. Pitch to untie the count is a ground ball, and Hutch Russell has his first hit of the game. Rainer Bean takes off for third base, and he is there before the throw even comes close. That's the 3rd time tonight that the Larks have had a runner get to third now. We'll see if that's the charm for Sean Keenan. Keenan's been on base once already. His play was a catcher's interference. He made it all the way to second base before the inning came to an end. Other than that, he's also flown out to left field. Keenan's coming off of a 4-for-4 performance yesterday. This one bounces in front of the catcher. And Hutch Russell doing a good job there reading the pitch and making his way over to second base on a successful steal. One ball and no strike to the Louisville, Texas native Sean Keenan. And now he fouls this one back into the net for the first strike. Brand Wilson will be up next, followed by Tabor Stokes. Both of those two have gotten on base as well. Keenan takes a half-hard practice swing, now holds his bat in the air. Here's the 1-1 from Kappelman. That goes to the opposite batter's box, caught by Swanson. Count is tied up with 2 balls and 1 strike. The infield playing a little bit further back for the BJs. Now Kappelman steps off the mound. Keenan awaiting the pitch. And he will call time. Took a lot of practice swings. And now he steps back into the box again. Larks just need to find a gap to get a good hit and bring those runs in. So far, both outs this inning, the ball has gone in play, and time is called for a second time in a row. Here's the pitch, and it's a line drive, and it drops over the head of the second baseman, and the Larks are on the scoreboard. 1 runner's in, the second is coming home, and both Rainer Bean and Hutch Russell score. A 2 RBI single for Sean Keenan, and that brings up Bran Wilson.
The catcher, number 32, Brand Wilson, at the plate.
Wilson's followed by Tabor Stokes and Tanner Norman. His first pitch misses on the outside part of the plate. The count is 1-0. Wilson so far is 1 for 2 with a single and a fly out to center field. Watches a fastball go by, and he's ahead 2-0. Time is called, and Gino Kazi makes his way out for a meeting with his starter. And it might be getting close to where he'll get subbed out. But at the same time, Liberal can keep him in for as long as they want because of this 10-run cushion that they have. I've noted already that Kappelman pitched 6 innings in his first time facing the Larks, which was 6 days ago. But in that game, he only gave up 1 hit and did not give up any runs. Here's the 2-0 to Wilson, missing up high for ball 3. That time he goes to his fastball. Kappelman fights back to a 3-1 count. Foul back into the net. The count moves full after it started 3-0. Wilson's already gotten a hit tonight, extending his streak to 7 games. Looking for another multi-hit game. He had 3 to start the season, and he also had another 3-game streak, and he is going to walk. And advancing over to second base is Sean Keenan. Another meeting for Liberal, and this is the end of the night for Jay Brooks Kappelman. He gets subbed out with 2 runners on and 2 outs, and he gives up 2 runs in this inning before the change is made. We'll see who Liberal subs in next when we come back here on the Larks Network. Jay Brooks Kappelman gets subbed out after 4 2/3 innings. And the new pitcher into the game for Liberal is number 9, Braxton Tranquil. The Twin Falls, Idaho native has 2 runners on, 2 outs, and his first batter he's facing is Tabor Stokes. A line drive from him lands in foul territory down the foul line. So the count is 0-1 for Stokes. Looking at Tranquil, he is a recent graduate of Twin Falls High School, committed to play at Northeastern Junior College next season. His first appearance against the Larks was in game number 2 of that first series. He only pitched 1 2/3 innings. On the 0-1, he goes outside for the first ball. If Tabor Stokes can drive some runs home, the Larks are right back in this one. There's still 4 innings left to be played. And on the 1-1, Stokes lets that one take a bounce on home plate, and the count is tied up. It would take a lot, though. It's been a while since the Larks have made this type of a comeback. There's a lot of notable ones that you can think of. Last season at the NBC World Series, they trailed by 5 runs and came back and beat the Oklahoma MVP. But their comebacks from this season, where they've started from behind, they've retaken the lead early. This is a different spot for them tonight. The count is 3-1 to Stokes with 2 outs. And Stokes, it's a fly ball deep into left center field. Green's going back to the wall, and this one takes a bounce. Andy Luton gives the windmill to Sean Keenan. And the Larks score 2 runs on the double from Tabor Stokes. The score is 4-10.
First baseman, number 34, Tanner Norman.
Lyles scored all the way from first base. Sean Keenan from second. Tanner Norman is the next batter up with Stokes over at second base. Here's the pitch. Misses outside for ball 1. Larks need to score as quickly as possible if they want to continue this run, because Liberal isn't warming up another pitcher yet. And the Larks were able to get some hits off Tranquil the first time they faced him. Here's the 1-0. And this one gets fouled back by Norman for the first strike. Norman's had just 1 ball go in play tonight. He grounded out to the second baseman, Uyeda, in the previous inning. Now here's the pitch from Tranquil. That one drops a little bit too low. Ties the count up at 2-1. Ty Schmeidler is the next batter up for the Larks. He's the only one that hasn't appeared at the plate this inning. The pitch to untie the count misses outside as well. And 1 more ball will walk Norman. Right side of the infield, playing a little bit further back. Here's the pitch. And that one misses on the high outside corner. There it is, ball 4 with runners at first and second for Ty Schmeidler to work with. We'll see what the Monarch can do. He comes into this game with 7 hits and 9 RBIs. Schmeither's had a lot of notable games where he gets those RBIs from. His first pitch is popped up high into the air. Finnegan runs after it and calls for it. And the side is retired. But the Larks are finally on the board. They score 4 runs in the top of the 5th inning, trying to fight back in this game. They go through their entire lineup, and they get within 6 now. And Liberals back to the top of their order for the bottom half of this inning. The Larks get on the board with four runs from 3 hits in the top of the 5th inning, and Trent Baker is pitching once again for the bottom half of this inning. He deals the ball to the leadoff batter, Ben Finnegan. Liberal has been through their lineup 3 times tonight. Now the next pitch goes outside as well, and that's ball 2. This is the 4th time tonight where Liberal is starting at the top of their order. Count is 3-0 from Baker. Every time Finnegan, has batted, he is the first batter of the inning. Baker deals the 3-0, finds the strike zone, and he will try to fight back. So Liberal went through their entire lineup in the 1st inning, had 5 batters at the plate in the 2nd inning, 4 in the 3rd. Finnegan would bat again in the 4th, and now he's batting in the 5th as well. He now faces a full count. The glove is centered for the payoff pitch, and it's fouled off. Baker will now deal pitch number 7 up next to Finnegan. Baker's recorded 1 strikeout already, and this one's sent into center field, and Keenan can just stand in place. It goes right to him once again, and he's got out number 1. Next batter is number 5, William Bologna.
Third baseman, number 5, William Bologna.
Bologna holds his bat up. Baker's first pitch to him is down the middle, and this one is chopped foul. It was very close to being in fair territory, but the field umpire is on the first base side, so he was the one to call it. Second pitch, from Baker is outside. Count is even with 1 ball and 1 strike to William Bologna. He had an RBI single in his last appearance. Next pitch is a fastball that misses on the low part of the zone. It's now 2-1. Wilson's continuing to put his glove down the middle, and Baker finds the strike zone on the fourth pitch. He's got another liberal batter faced with 2 strikes. The pitch is a fastball and a swing and a miss, and Trent Baker strikes out William Bologna for out number 2. It's his second strikeout of the game, going to go along with a backwards K in the previous inning. And now Cole Manuel will try to keep the inning alive and keep Liberal from going 3 up, 3 down for the first time tonight. The Larks have had some chances to get that done in this game. Most notably in the second inning, they got Finnegan and Bologna out, but Manuel was able to get on base. He's down 0-1 here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Baker's continuing to use his fastball. Missing down low. The pitch is, or the count is 1-1. And this one is hit over to Tabor Stokes. He feels it, throws it to Tanner Norman, and the Larks go 3 up, 3 down, starting with a fly out, a strikeout, and a ground out. They trail by 6 going into the top of the 6th inning. We will see what they can do. It's the 9-1-2 batters up next here on the Larks Network. Welcome back to Liberal, Kansas for the bottom of the 5th inning. Larks trail by 6 and will have their 9-1-2 batters up to face the relief pitcher Braxton Tranquil. He came in the middle of the last inning when there were 2 outs. The first batter he's facing is number 12, Cade Green. His first pitch is up high, and it's called ball 1. If you notice in the last inning, I wasn't doing too much talking. I was trying to look up and see if the Larks have ever pulled off a 10-run comeback in their history, and to my knowledge, they never have. So they have an opportunity tonight. They've scored 4 runs. They just went 3 up, 3 down against the BJs. We'll see if they can do it again. They're back to the top of their order after this, and they had 9 batters up to the plate in the last inning where they scored those 4 runs. Cade Green faces a 2-1 count. In Green's previous 2 at-bats, his counts were 1 and 2. So now this one's playing a little more to his advantage. And there's ball 3. This season, Green has 17 hits and has been walked 13 times. So far, his on-base percentage is .430. Here's the next pitch from Tranquil. And this one's a ground ball. Fielded, or bobbled by Ueda. He throws it down to first, and he gets it in time. Very close play. Ueda had to go to his knees to field the ball. Didn't get it initially, but he beats the throw over to Giovanelli. And now the Larks are back to the top of their order with number 3, Rainer Bean. He is tonight's designated hitter for the Larks. He's had 2 balls go in play, both of them to the second baseman. He walked on his last appearance, and the first pitch to him here is called strike 1. Tranquil's next pitch misses high, and it evens things up. On the 1-1 count, Rainer Bean sends that one out of play. He is down with 2 strikes. Tranquil's one of a few high school seniors for the BJs. Committed to Northeastern Junior College. He's from Twin Falls, Idaho. And his next pitch is a low fastball. And it's now 2-2. If he pitches this full inning, it's 1 1/3 against the Larks. He was 1 2/3 in his first appearance against them. And for the second time in a row, Rainer Bean faces a full count. He walked on the last one. We'll see what he does right here. Here's the payoff pitch. And that one misses on the outside part of the plate. And there's another walk. Next batter is number 1, Cooper Holtorf. And Liberal is now warming up another pitcher. Try to get a look at who that is. It's a little bit tough to tell. And now that pitcher turned his back, so I was able to get a look. It's number 11, Jack Taxi, that's warming up. Tranquil deals a fastball to Holtorf, making the count 0-1. Next pitch drops into the zone as well. Holtorf now has to battle back with 2 strikes and a runner over at first base. A little bit too low on the third pitch there from Tranquil. It's now 1 ball and 2 strikes. Holtorf is 1 for 3 so far, was 2 for 4 in the first game yesterday. Looking for his second hit as the next ball is on its way. And this one's chopped foul, fielded by a Liberal player that comes out of the dugout. Rainer Bean stands on first base, now takes a short lead with Giovanelli covering. Holtorf hits a ball and gets it right past Bologna. Holtorf gets his second base hit of the game, puts Rainer Bean in scoring position. And now it's the 3-hole batter, Hutch Russell, up.
Third baseman, number 15, Hutch.
Big opportunity for the Larks right here, and with that, Liberal's going to have another meeting with with their pitching coach, Gino Kazi. He points over to left field and makes another change. The new pitcher will be Jack Taxi. We'll see what he can do in the rest of the top of the 6th inning when we come back. Braxton Tranquil got 2 Larks on to start this inning, and they make their second, and Liberal makes their second change of the night. Replacing Tranquil is number 11, Jack Taxi, a left-handed sophomore from Wisconsin Whitewater. He will face number 15, Hutch Russell. The runner at second base is Rainer Bean. Cooper Holtorf is at first. Bean was walked on a full count, and Cooper Holtorf got his second hit of the game just a moment ago. His was on a 1-2 count. Russell's already gotten on base twice. Here's Taxi's first pitch, and he delivers a ball. Taxi also pitched in the second game against the Larks, just like Braxton Tranquil. He got 2 strikeouts and gave up 1 walk. He has the lowest ERA for the BJs, .91 for him coming into tonight's game. Here's the 1-0. That one goes low and outside. Russell's ahead with a 2-0 count. Sean Keenan will be up next, followed by Brand Wilson and Tabor Stokes. The Larks trailed 10-0 after the 4th inning. All 4 of their runs came in the top of the 5th. Taxi kicks and deals, goes outside, and there's ball 3. If Russell walks, that would leave the bases loaded for Sean Keenan. And he has gotten a couple grand slams already this season. Russell showed bunt, but pulled it back, and it's called strike 1. Taxi has 12 strikeouts and has only given up 4 hits. Started with a 3-0 count, just dealt a strike. Here's the next pitch. And that is low and outside, and the bases are loaded for Sean Keenan. Bean is at third, Holtorf is at second, and Russell is at first. We'll see what Keenan can do against the lowest ERA pitcher for the BJs. Again, Taxi's ERA is .91 with only 1 earned run, which was given up on June 28th when the BJs took on the Game Day Angels.
Number 7, Sean Keenan.
Keenan so far tonight has gotten 1 hit. Also got on base through a catcher's interference in the 3rd inning. Here's the first pitch to Keenan. Misses on the outside. That's ball 1. Keenan steps back into the left-handed box to face the left-handed arm. Keenan has a team-high 33 RBIs coming into tonight's game. Now here's the 1-0. And this one will hit him on the shoulder. And the Larks are on the scoreboard once again. With the hit by a pitch, Rainer Bean scores from third base. And the Larks are within 5. There will be a meeting for the BJs just between the catcher Adam Swanson and the new pitcher Jack Taxi, a sophomore left-hander that is currently in the transfer portal. He actually did not play any college baseball in 2026. His last appearance was with Wisconsin Whitewater in 2025, where he went for 8 games, all of those relief appearances. So now Brand Wilson will be the batter that works with the bases loaded. The Larks are within 5. Here's the pitch. And that one catches the corner. 0-1 is the count for Brand Wilson. Looking at Wilson's RBI numbers, he has 12, as well as 3 home runs. Here's the pitch. Big swing and a miss. And it's now 0-2. Tabor Stokes will be up next after Brand Wilson. Stokes already has a 2 RBI double tonight and had a 2-run home run yesterday in the 6th inning. Taxi delivers the 0-2, and Wilson sends this one foul. It's a ground ball down the first base foul line. And Hutch Russell will return over to second base. Again, Holtorf is at third and Sean Keenan is at first. Holtorf is the only one in this inning that has recorded a hit. Russell was walked and Keenan was hit just a moment ago, and that scored a run along with it. Taxi kicks and deals. And this is a wild pitch. And Cooper Holtorf will stay put. The ball took a hard bounce on the backstop and went right into the glove of Swanson. Count is now 1-2. Taxi looking for his 13th strikeout of the season as he delivers the pitch. And he gets it right there. Swing and a miss on the 1-2 count. And with 2 outs, it brings up Tabor Stokes.
Shortstop number 6, Tabor Stokes.
Stokes is the 7th batter at the plate for the Larks this inning. Stokes' first pitch is a fastball, catching the high outside corner. It's 0-1. Larks have done a really good job in these last couple of innings. These last 2 have been their longest. They had all 9 batters at the plate in the 5th inning, and then I just mentioned Stokes is the 7th batter at the plate in this inning. Here's the 0-1 from Taxi. Another one goes to the outside. That time it's called ball 1. Stokes takes a couple half-hearted practice swings. Now he holds the bat up. And here's the pitch. That one curves into the zone. I think a lot of the players and coaches for the Larks were kind of surprised that one was called a strike. Now Stokes down to his last strike, trying to get those runners home. Trying to add some more RBIs on the 1-2. And there is strike 3. So the bases are left loaded, and the Larks only had one more run, that time coming from Rainer Bean. And we will be back for the bottom of the 6th in just a moment. The score is Liberal 10, Hayes 5. The Larks added one more run in the top half of the 6th inning. They trail by 5 going into the bottom half, and they keep Trent Baker on the mound to face the BJs. First pitch is line foul from number 44, Noah Giovanelli. Baker has been in since the 4th inning. Just went 3 up, 3 down in the bottom of the 5th. And this one is going to drop past Tabor Stokes. And Noah Giovanelli gets on through a single. Giovanelli's a perfect 4 for 4 on his plate appearances tonight. Started with 2 walks, then a fielder's choice, and he just had that single. Now up to bat is number 19, Cal Anthony.
Number 19, right fielder, Cal Anthony.
Anthony struck out in his first 2 appearances, but hit the 3-run home run in the 4th inning. And he breaks his bat, hitting this one over to Cade Green. Chance for a double play. The throw to second is in time. The throw to first is not. The second time tonight the Larks have attempted a double play, and the only runner they get out is at second base. Which, if you can't get both, that's the best thing you can do. So now Adam Swanson is up to bat. He is the catcher tonight, wearing number 39.
Number 39, Adam Swanson, the catcher.
This is Swanson's 12th game with the BJs. Baker delivers a fastball by the knees, and it's 1-0. Swanson has the best average for Liberal. His is .425. That is 17 hits and 40 at-bats coming into tonight's game. Swing and a miss and a throw down to second base, and the Larks trying to get the tag. And the tag was applied, but I don't think Green had control of the ball. It actually rolled past him. So Anthony is successful on the steal. But that pitch to Swanson was called strike 1. Baker takes a look back at second base. Now focuses on the batter. And that one is another pitch that goes by the knees of a Liberal batter. Count is tied 2-1. Trenton Uyeda will be up next, followed by Drew Gartman and Seth Green for the BJs. Baker delivers to the outside, and that's ball 3. Liberal has shown a lot of plate discipline tonight. They have gotten their 10 runs off of only 8 hits. Baker looks at second again, and on the 3-1, he delivers ball 4. That's 2 runners on for the BJs. Going to their 7-hole batter, Trenton Uyeda. He's another player that is perfect on all of his plate appearances tonight. And the courtesy runner, Jet Huffman, is back into the game for Swanson since he is the catcher. Uyeda's been watched twice, and he recorded the third the third triple of the game for Liberal, where runs were also scored. Baker delivers a fastball on the inside. 1-0 is the count to the freshman out of Poway, California. Baker's still looking back at second base. Cal Anthony has 1 steal already. And there is ball 2. Uyeda's been able to get ahead in every single count so far. He fouls that one back into the net, and it's tied up. One of Liberal's players will go over to retrieve it. That is Cooper Cardocus that goes to get it. Baker continuing to look at second base, goes to his fastball. And the count is now 3-1 to the Point Loma Nazarene freshman. Uyeda has yet to get out tonight. Baker's next pitch to him. Catches the low outside corner. And it's a full count. It's the third time that Uyeda has been faced with one. He's walked on the previous two. Larks pitching, hoping that the third time is the charm against the second baseman. Here's Baker's payoff pitch. And it's a swing and a miss for out number 2. Good job by Baker there, able to catch him reaching to the outside part of the plate. And now Keith Harper's going to come out to talk things over with Baker. Just needs one more out to make sure the Larks still trail by only 5 and nothing more. Jackson Ramos is the only pitcher warming up right now. So now Drew Gartman will be the next batter up for the BJs. Other than his triple in the first inning, he has grounded out and struck out.
Drew Gartman now batting.
Baker's pitch goes low and is called strike 1. He's using that fastball to get ahead early. Baker throws a fastball that goes anywhere between 90 and 93 miles per hour. And now the count is 1-1. Ground ball over to Tabor Stokes. He fields it, throws it down to third base, and the fielder's choice ends the inning. The Larks are able to keep the runners stranded, and they still trail by 5 going into the top of the 7th inning. We'll be back in just a moment to see how they respond. It's the bottom third of the order up next here on the Larks Network. 3 innings to go in the second game of this series between the Larks and the BJs. The Larks are facing Jack Taxi for another inning. It's the bottom third of their order with Tanner Norman leading things off. At the end of the 4th inning, the Larks trailed 10-0. They have scored the last 5 runs of tonight's game, trying to fight their way back into it. Baker did a good job in the last inning shutting down the BJs batting. Now it's the Larks' turn to respond with the bats. Taxi delivers a ball to Tanner Norman. And the Larks are warming up another pitcher right now. It's Jackson Ramos. He does a good job in late game situations, so that's why they're going to sub him in. They want to make sure Liberal scores no more. And Tanner Norman almost got hit on that pitch. Instead, it's ball 2. Because another thing that's worth noting about tonight's game is that no matter what position Liberal is in, whether it's the 5-run lead they have right now or the 10-run lead that they had at the end of that 4th inning, the pressure is on them for the remainder of this series. The Larks just need to win one game and they clinch a share of the title, and then they need to win one of their 2 remaining RMBL games, which are both against the Boulder Collegians. So as long as they win one of the 2 RMBL games, they can clinch an outright title. For Liberal, they need to win both to have a shot. Norman hits a foul ball on a 2-1 count, and it evens things up. Norman's a left-handed batter, so again, that right side of the infield's playing back. Here's the pitch. That one misses on the outside. It's another full count for the Larks. It would be big for them if they can get a runner on here to start the 7th inning. Jack Taxi's payoff pitch misses on the outside corner, and Tanner Norman walks for the 2nd time tonight. That'll bring up number 16, Ty Schmeidler. He's gotten on base once through a walk. We'll see what Schmeidler does right here. He came into tonight's game with 7 hits in his previous 5 appearances. Watch the first pitch go by for a strike. Taxi went to his curveball that time. Now here's the 0-1. That one lands to the outside. 1 ball and 1 strike in the count. Schmeidler's gotten a hit in every game that he's been in the starting lineup. He fouls this one off, and this one hits him in the leg. They will give him a second. And he will just walk it off. Not sure if the foul ball hit him in his shin or his ankle. I'd have to assume it's the ankle because he has the shin guard on his right leg. Andy Luton and Frank Leo are both there. Make sure he's all good to go. Now Leo will walk with him for a little bit. And Schmeidler will strap the shin guard back on. And he returns to the plate now with a 1-2 count and no outs. Taxi's looking to get another strikeout. He's gotten 2 already. 1 forward facing K and 1 backward facing. Here's the pitch. And Schmeidler fouls it out of play. Count will remain 1-2 for the Kentucky commit. The catcher Swanson wants the pitch down the middle. Half-hearted swing. And Schmeidler did not go around. That is ball number 2. Taxi looking to win another battle as he kicks and deals. And he does just that. It's a swing and a miss. And there's out number 1.
Number 12, second baseman.
Next batter up for the Larks is number 12, Cade Green. Playing at second base tonight after serving as a courtesy runner yesterday. He scored 2 of the Larks' 18 runs. Also pitched in the 7th inning. He will leave that one outside for ball 1. I mentioned that I was wondering last night on the broadcast that if Green pitched in high school. During the team meal today, I got the chance to talk to him about that, and he said that the last time he pitched was his junior year of high school in Choctaw, Oklahoma. So these 2 innings that he's pitched for the Larks this summer are his first ones in 2 years. He's ahead with 2 balls and no strikes against the sophomore from Fox River Grove, Illinois. And now Taxi delivers a strike and ties the count up with 1 out. Norman is still over at first base. Here comes the pitch. And that one will get in the zone as well. Green is down to his last strike. If Taxi can get the strikeout, it'll be his 4th of the game. Instead, this has popped up in the infield. Bologna runs up, trying to track it down. He makes the catch in foul territory. And now the Larks are back to the top of their order with 2 outs. Rainer Bean is up to bat for his 6th plate appearance. He's had 4 full-time appearances at the plate. 2 balls have gone in play. Both of those he's gotten out on. Both of his appearances on the base path were walks, where he eventually scored as well. He starts behind with no balls and 1 strike. Trying to advance his Murray State teammate Tanner Norman. The 0-1 is sent out of play. That's strike 2. The first baseman's covering the bag. Here's the pitch. And this one's a line drive into right field, and this one's going to drop down. It goes all the way to the corner. Tanner Norman goes to third. Andy Luton gives him the windmill. Rainer Bean stops at second base, and now they'll send him to third. And he will slide in, and he is called safe. It's an RBI triple for the DH. Scoring Tanner Norman all the way from first base. He placed that one perfectly into the foul corner in right field. And the first base coach, Nate Guffey, goes over to retrieve his helmet. And The Larks are now within 4 with 2 outs.
Left fielder, number 1, Cooper.
Cooper Holtorf begins with a ball. Holtorf has gone 2 for 4 for his second game in a row. Both of his hits tonight have been singles. He fouls this one back into the net. He will have an even count. Holtorf has also extended his streak. His is now 6 games long. But he's looking for a run tonight, which would also extend his run streak to 6 games as well. Taxi deals the 1-1. And Holtorf thought about taking a swing, held back on it. Instead, the home plate umpire will say it caught that high corner. And it's now 1-2. Swanson wants the pitch right down the middle. It goes to the plate. And there's a swing and a miss for out number 3. The Larks add another run from an RBI triple from Rainer Bean to go within 4. Now they need to shut down Liberal in the bottom of the 7th inning. We'll see if they can do that when we come back here on the Larks Network. After the 7th inning stretch, the Larks make a pitching change, and the first pitch is a bunt, fielded by the new pitcher, Sammy Fredrich, and the bunt is successful. It came from number 1, Seth Green, getting his first hit of the game. And now Liberals back to the top of their order with a runner on base. I don't think I said it. The new pitcher is number 27, Sammy Fredrich, replacing Trent Baker after 3 innings. Baker only gives up 3 hits and has 3 strikeouts tonight. So Fredrich steps in for his 5th relief appearance of the season. Facing the top of the order, this one's fouled out of play, and it's 0-1. Finnegan, the current batter, is 1 for 3, 2 runs scored. His 1 hit was a double in the 4th inning. Here's the pitch. That one gets into the zone for strike 2. Wouldn't be surprised if Fredrich decides to go to his fastball right here. It's a pitch that he puts a lot of power on. He looks back at first base. Now delivers the 0-2. He goes to that fastball, and this one's a line drive. Green jumped up but was unable to make the catch. And both runners advance. Green moves to second base. Finnegan is at first. Now Liberal has their 2-hole batter up, William Bologna.
Preparing to bat.
Bologna has 2 runs so far tonight. He also has an RBI single, which was in the 4th inning as well. That single gives him a hit in 10 of 14 games. Pitch from Frederick is fouled. And it's 0-1. Cole Manuel will be up next, followed by Noah Giovanelli and Cal Anthony. Hutch Russell's playing in the grass in the infield. Now he'll back off a little bit. Frederick deals the 0-1. And the pitch drops low in the zone, making the count 1-1. Bologna taking his time before going back into the batter's box. Fredericks looks back at second. Now the pitch to the batter. It's called ball 2. Bologna came into this game with a 308 average. He's 1 for 3 tonight. Look back at second base. Now Frederick delivers. This one goes by Bologna's knees. And it's now 3-1. This will be the second time that Bologna gets walks tonight if he gets on. Cole Manuel will be up to bat next. He's the 3-hole batter. And then Noah Giovanelli after that. Going to the curveball. Fredericks is able to find the strike zone. And it's 3-2. Fredericks looking to win the battle here. He's got 13 strikeouts coming into this game compared to 8 walks. Here's the payoff pitch with no outs, and that is by the face of Bologna, and the bases are loaded. Green is at third. Finnegan is at second. Bologna is at first for Cole Manuel to work with. Manuel's gotten on base twice with a single and a walk. On that, when he had that walk in the second inning, he was able to get to second base. And another run is going to score for the BJs. Manuel gets hit on the side.
First baseman number 44, Noah.
So Liberal scores their first run since the 4th inning. Noah Giovanelli is the next batter up. Keith Harper's going to come talk to Sammy Frederick. The Larks just had Jackson Ramos warming up a moment ago. But it does not look like they're going to make any changes. And Harper will just say a few words and make his way back to the first base dugout. So Giovanelli is up to bat for Liberal. He has yet to get out tonight. He's gotten on the base path 4 times, and the only time that he did get out was at the start of the 6th inning. He had the single and then Cal Anthony would follow after him, and the Larks would attempt a double play and only get Giovanelli out. And on the pass ball, Liberal scores again. This time it's Ben Finnegan. Giovanelli begins with a 1-0 count, and the other two runners advance. So Liberal has a 6-run lead against the Larks. Here's the 1-0 from Frederick. It's called ball 2 for Giovanelli. Giovanelli only has 1 hit. And his next pitch, he thought about going around. Instead, that makes the count 3-0. Fredericks comes set. And he finds the strike zone on the outside part of the plate. Going to that fastball, it's now 3-1. A swing and a miss on the 3-1 count. Gets Fredericks back up to a full. He's trying to be the first Larks pitcher to get Noah Giovanelli out. But Giovanelli's had 2 full counts already. He walked on both of them and scored on one of those walks, and now he strikes out swinging. There's 1 out on the board. Next up is the 5-hole batter, Cal Anthony, a right fielder who had the home run in the 4th inning. He has William Bologna at third and Cole Manuel at second base, and he hits a line drive into right field, and that one's going to roll over to Schmeidler, and that clears the bases. That gives Cal Anthony 5 RBIs on the night and makes the score 14-6. Adam Swanson is the next batter for Liberal, with his walk-up song playing "Down Under" by Men at Work. He's the only Liberal player to score, or excuse me, he's one of 2 Liberal players to have 3 runs tonight, along with the leadoff batter Ben Finnegan. Swanson scored in the 1st, 3rd, and 4th inning. Throw back to first base. Tag was not applied in time. Frederick takes another look. Here's the pitch. This one bounces away from Brand Wilson, and the pass ball puts Cal Anthony in scoring position. Frederick is facing his 7th batter of the inning on the 1-0. This one bounces away again. And now Anthony's 90 feet away from home plate. He had the single and advances on 2 pass balls. Two balls and no strikes to Adam Swanson. And that one gets away again. And the throw to home, and the tag is applied in time. The Larks are able to tag Cal Anthony out. The third base coach for Liberal comes over. I don't think there's really any question about that. It looks like the tag was applied in time. Fredericks got to the plate very quickly and is able to apply the tag. Bases are empty now for Adam Swanson, but he's ahead 3-0. Here's the pitch. And Frederich finds the zone. Once again, he falls behind 3-0, but is able to find the strike zone. He had that instance a few at-bats ago against Noah Giovanelli. The count was 3-0, got 2 straight strikes, and struck him out swinging. Instead, this time, Adam Swanson is hit, and he heads over to first base after the 5-pitch plate appearance. Trenton Uyeda now comes up for Liberal. He started the game with 2 walks and has been 1 for 2 since then. Jet Huffman is back into the game once again as the courtesy runner for Swanson. So that's a correction I need to make right there. It's not Swanson that has the 3 runs tonight. Or correction, Jet Huffman has 2 runs, excuse me. Uyeda will start with a ball against Frederich. The only 2 players for Liberal that have 3 runs tonight are the 2 leadoff batters, Ben Finnegan and William Bologna. The pop-up goes into the shallow center field. Tabor Stokes is there, and they will retire the side. Liberal adds 4 more runs from their 9-1-2-3 batters. They lead by 8 going into the top of the 8th. Liberal adds 4 more runs in the bottom of the 7th inning, and Hutch Russell leads off the top of the 8th, facing a new Liberal pitcher, replacing Jack Taxi as number 16, Braden Whipple, to face the Larks' 3-4-5 batters. Whipple is another player from Seward County Community College. Just played his sophomore year as a right-handed pitcher. He pitched in the final inning against the Larks on July 7th. That was the second game at Larks Park. 1 hit, 1 run, and 2 strikeouts for him in that one. He starts with an 0-1 count against Hutch Russell. That'll be Sean Keenan and Brand Wilson up next. Whipple has pitched in 8 games for Liberal. 26 and 1/3 innings pitched with a 4.25 ERA. He delivers a ball on the second pitch. Russell has 1 hit and 2 walks in this game. The only time he's gotten out tonight was a strikeout in the third. And when he had that single, he would eventually score a run. Now he fouls off the next pitch. That's strike 2. Braden Whipple also played in 18 games this season for the Seward County Saints. Used in late game situations, he had 4 saves in 33 and 2/3 innings. Also had 27 strikeouts. His next pitch is on its way. That's ball 1, or ball 2, excuse me. Catcher centers his glove. The pitch goes to the plate. And Russell fouls it into the net. Russell will now await pitch number 6 from the Woodward, Oklahoma native, Braden Whipple. Taking his time before he delivers the pitch. Now it goes to the plate. And it drops into the strike zone, and there's out number 1. With 1 away, that brings up Sean Keenan. He's recorded 3 RBIs in his last 2 plate appearances. 2 RBI single in the 5th. And he was hit by a pitch with the bases loaded in the 6th. Now he works with the bases empty here in the top of the 8th. Larks just trying to put some runs together here in the 8th before going to the 9th, seeing what they can do before game number 3, which is now a must-win for both teams. At minimum, the Larks have to win 1 of the league games here in Liberal. But for the BJs, they have to win both if they have any shot. Because if the Larks win 1 game, they just have to beat Boulder, and then they will win the league championship outright. Count is 0-2 to Keenan, and the Larks should be the favorite in that series against Boulder. The first game will be non-league, and the last 2 will be RMBL games. Here's the 0-2. Keenan fouls another one back. Keenan staying alive here against the new pitcher. And he swings and misses. And now Liberal has a chance for a 3-up, 3-down inning. That's 2 strikeouts for Whipple since coming in.
Number 32, the catcher, Brand Wilson.
Now Brand Wilson will bat for the Larks. 1 run and 1 hit for him tonight, as he gets set to face Braden Whipple. These two will actually be college teammates next year. Brand Wilson just played his sophomore year at Redlands Community College. Braden Whipple just finished his career at Seward County. And both of these two will be Southwestern Oklahoma State Bulldogs next season. Whipple taking his time. Here's the second pitch to Wilson. Swing and a miss. That's strike one. Whipple showing that he does a really good job of finding the strike zone. In 8 games, he has 34 strikeouts with Liberal, and that's what he was known for in high school. He attended Shattuck High School in Woodward, Oklahoma. He won All-State honors, and in his high school career had 312 strikeouts, which included 116 as a senior. It's now 1-2 after a foul ball there from Wilson. Wilson will call time now. Whipple goes to his full windup. And another one gets fouled into the net from Brand Wilson. Larks trying to avoid going 3 up, 3 down. It's only happened once tonight in the 4th. That was with their 6, 7, 8 batters. This one would be with their 3, 4, 5. If Whipple can get the out. This is popped up. Called for by the middle infielders. Making the catch in the end is number 29, Trenton Uieta. And that ends the top of the 8th inning. So Liberal will be ahead by 8 going into the bottom half of this inning. We'll see how the rest of this game plays out when we return here on the Larks Network. The 8-hole batter, Drew Gartman, leads off the bottom of the 8th inning against a new Larks pitcher. This is their 4th call to the bullpen tonight. It is their DH, Rainer Bean, taking things over. And Drew Gartman has dealt a ball on his first pitch. He was the only batter that wasn't at the plate in the prior inning where Liberal scored 4 runs. Next pitch goes outside, up high for ball 2. This is Rainer Bean's 3rd appearance with the Larks. His next pitch is a curveball. It's up high for ball 3. Rainer's had 2 pitching appearances. His first one was on June 18th against the Game Day Angels. He has yet to give up a hit or a run. And he has 3 strikeouts. Now the count is 3-1. And he fights back up to a full count. Bean looking for his 3rd strike in a row as he looks to avoid getting a base runner on. And this one's fouled out of play by Gartman. Seth Green will be up next, and then Liberal will go back to the top of their order with number 12, Ben Finnegan. When Finnegan goes up to bat, it will be his 6th time at the plate tonight. And the full count is called strike 3. Bean went to his fastball in the low outside corner to get the strikeout. That's his 4th of as a Lark. And there is one away.
Left fielder, number 1, Seth Green, batting in the 9th position.
Seth Green now out to bat, 1 for 4 performance for him tonight. His only hit was a bunt single to lead off the 7th inning. He gets dealt a ball there from Rainer Bean. Next pitch, another fastball. That finds the zone. Or it's a swing and a miss, excuse me. Count moves to 1-1. Rainer Bean comes to the Larks in his career as a pitcher. He only was in 1 game this season for Murray State, which was a 1-inning save for him, where he didn't give up any hits, walks, or runs. Here's the 1-2, and he drops it into the zone. Back-to-back Ks from the infielder, making his 3rd appearance as a pitcher.
Center fielder, number 12, Ben.
And both of them have been backwards Ks. It's back to the top of the order now for Liberal with number 12, Ben Finnegan. One of 2 players for Liberal that has 3 runs tonight. The other one is William Bologna, who's on deck. Rainer Bean delivers a ball to Ben Finnegan. When Finnegan had his single in his last appearance, he was trailing down 0-2, and then was able to put the ball in play and score his 3rd run. Now he hits this one over to Tabor Stokes, fields it, and throws it over to Tanner Norman, and the Larks go 3 up, 3 down in the bottom of the 8th against the Liberal BJs. They trail 14-6 going into the last inning. We will be back in just a moment on the Larks Network. Liberal is 3 outs away from being 1 game behind the Larks in the RMBL standings. It is Tabor Stokes first to face Braden Whipple for a 2nd inning in a row. Both teams threw a combined 9 arms tonight. 5 from the Larks, 4 from the BJs. Braden Whipple deals a strike to Stokes. The count is 0-1. Whipple came in at the start of the last inning and got 2 strikeouts. Gives him 36 this summer in 9 games. Here's the 0-1. That drops down low. Evens the count up at 1-1. Tomorrow night's game is also scheduled for a 7 p.m. start time. If Liberal wins that one, they will be tied with the Larks for first place in the RMBL standings. But if the Larks win, they clinch a share and then are 1 win away from the title. Stokes is down 1-2, swinging and missing on the next pitch. That's also why Liberal came out with so much firepower tonight. The pressure is on them in this series. It'll be interesting to see how they approach tomorrow's game. The Larks have seen a lot of their main starters already. That's a swing, or excuse me, that's a looking strikeout there for Tabor Stokes. And it's out number 1. Tanner Norman is up now.
First baseman, number 34, Tanner Norman.
But I've had a look to see who the Larks could face tomorrow. Some of Liberal's notable pitchers. That includes guys like Joshua Mosley, who's made a couple of starts. He pitched the first game against the Larks back in Hayes. Liberal could also start the St. Louis Billiken Andrew Banda tomorrow. All 5 of his appearances have been starts. But it'll be interesting to see what they go with. For both teams, tomorrow is now a must-win game. Tanner Norman has a 1-1 count with 1 out. 5 different Larks have scored tonight. Rainer Bean is the only one with 2 runs. Here's the pitch. And Whipple delivers that one into the strike zone to make the count 1-2. Swanson centers his glove once again. This is a foul tip from Norman. And now he awaits pitch number 5. Whipple goes to his full windup for the 1-2. Delivers that by the knees of Norman. Count is evened up. There's a couple of gaps on the infield where Tanner Norman could put this ball if he gets it in play. And he works to a full count. Awaiting pitch number 7 from the Southwestern Oklahoma State commit. Here's the payoff pitch. And that is out number 2. It went on the inside corner. Norman does not agree with the home plate umpire that should have been called strike 3. That is back-to-back backwards Ks here in the 9th inning. Whipple's had 4 strikeouts in just 2 innings tonight. His first pitch to Ty Schmeidler. Catches that corner again for strike 1, along with a frame there from the catcher, Swanson. Here's the 0-1. Schmeidler hits a hard ground ball. going into foul territory behind the first base bag. And it's now 0-2. Whipple gives a nod to his catcher. And time is called by the home plate umpire. Here comes the 0-2, and time was called once again when Schmeidler stepped back in. A little bit confusing what happened there, but either way, Whipple's now ready for the next pitch. He kicks and deals. And he drops that one into the inside. And there is out number 3. Liberal wins tonight's game by a final score of 14-6. They are now 1 game behind the Larks in the RMBL standings. Their new RMBL record is 15-6. The Larks is 16-5. Liberal scored 5 runs in the first, 5 more in the fourth, and 4 more in the 7th. They got up early, and the rest was history from that point on. So now the game tomorrow night will decide this series. It is an RMBL game. If Liberal wins it, the 2 teams will be tied for first place. But if the Larks win it, they clinch a share of the RMBL title and then just need 1 more win after that to win the title outright. So it'll be interesting to see how the Larks respond after this one. Liberal gets the big win after they suffered their first run rule loss of the season against the Larks last night. And the final score is 14-6. So we thank you all for tuning into tonight's game. And we will see you back here at Brent Gold Field tomorrow night here on the Larks Network.